It's hard to ignore the opinions of others, even when you tell yourself it shouldn't matter. Your brain evolved to monitor social approval, keeping you connected and safe within groups. Every glance, comment, or reaction triggers subtle feedback loops that shape behavior, often without conscious awareness. This natural wiring explains why caring about judgment feels automatic, and why learning to navigate it is key to freedom and confidence. Today we will talk about why you can't stop caring what people think. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The roots of social concern. Caring about what others think is a deeply ingrained aspect of human nature. Evolutionarily, humans survived and thrived by belonging to social groups, so being attuned to others' opinions helped ensure acceptance and safety. This instinctual need for approval persists in modern life, shaping behavior, choices, and emotional responses. When someone perceives judgment or disapproval, the brain activates regions associated with threat and stress, creating real physiological and emotional responses. Over time, this sensitivity becomes habitual, making it difficult to act independently without anticipating evaluation from others. While awareness of social perception can be advantageous, helping maintain relationships or navigate complex environments, it can also become a source of stress and self-doubt. Excessive concern about others' opinions can hinder personal growth, limit decision-making, and reinforce self-criticism. Understanding the evolutionary and neurological roots of social concern provides insight into why it is so persistent and why overcoming its negative effects requires conscious effort. 2. Fear of rejection and judgment. A major reason people struggle to stop caring about what others think is fear of rejection. Human brains are wired to interpret social exclusion as a form of threat, activating emotional responses similar to physical danger. This fear can manifest as avoidance of confrontation, hesitancy to express opinions, or conforming to others' expectations. Constantly evaluating potential reactions from peers, family, or colleagues leads to overthinking and self-censorship. Judgment from others can feel like a reflection of self-worth, amplifying anxiety and self-doubt. Even when individuals logically recognize that other people's opinions are subjective, the subconscious fear triggers automatic concern. This cycle perpetuates dependence on external validation, making it hard to act authentically. Breaking free requires understanding that fear of judgment is a natural protective mechanism rather than an absolute truth, and that self-validation can be cultivated independently from external perceptions. 3. The role of self-esteem. Caring excessively about others' opinions is closely tied to self-esteem. When self-worth is contingent on approval, validation, or recognition from others, individuals develop heightened sensitivity to perceived judgment. Low or fluctuating self-esteem magnifies the impact of criticism, while high self-esteem provides resilience against negative opinions. People with fragile self-esteem may internalize every comment, assuming it reflects their value or competence, and adjust behavior to avoid disapproval. This pattern reinforces a feedback loop where identity and confidence are dependent on external evaluation rather than intrinsic understanding. Strengthening self-esteem involves developing internal validation, recognizing personal strengths, and understanding that external opinions are limited and subjective. By shifting the source of self-worth inward, individuals reduce the compulsive need to please or seek approval from others, allowing authentic choices and actions. 4. Social comparison and overthinking. Social comparison fuels the desire for approval. Observing others' success, appearance, or social status triggers the brain to evaluate oneself relative to the group. Overthinkers interpret these comparisons as judgments, even when unspoken, and anticipate negative evaluations. Social media amplifies this tendency, constantly providing curated representations of others that influence self-perception. This comparison activates the brain's reward and threat systems simultaneously. Reward when one is perceived positively, and threat when one feels inadequate. Over time, these patterns solidify, making people overly cautious, self-critical, or anxious about how others perceive them. Reducing social comparison and focusing on intrinsic values helps mitigate excessive concern about opinions, allowing for authentic self-expression without fear of judgment. 5. The subconscious mind at work. Much of the concern about others' opinions operates subconsciously. The brain automatically interprets cues, tone, body language, and even imagined reactions as indicators of judgment or approval. These signals trigger emotional and physiological responses without conscious awareness. Often, the mind exaggerates potential disapproval, creating imagined criticism or rejection scenarios. Overthinking and rumination reinforce these patterns, making concern seem unavoidable. Awareness of subconscious processing is critical to breaking the cycle. Techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, and cognitive reframing allow individuals to observe these automatic reactions, assess their accuracy, and prevent unnecessary stress. By consciously intervening, the brain learns to differentiate real threats from imagined social judgment. 6. The cost of people-pleasing. Caring excessively about others' opinions often leads to people-pleasing behaviors. Individuals may prioritize others' needs, defer their own preferences, or avoid conflict to maintain approval. While this may temporarily reduce perceived threats of judgment, it creates long-term dissatisfaction, resentment, and inauthenticity. The need for constant validation undermines personal goals, relationships, and emotional well-being. People-pleasing is a form of self-sabotage where the desire for acceptance outweighs personal fulfillment. Recognizing the negative impact of this pattern allows individuals to set boundaries, assert preferences, and pursue choices aligned with intrinsic values rather than external validation, gradually freeing themselves from compulsive concern over judgment. 7. Cultural and environmental influences. Cultural norms, upbringing, and social environment shape the degree to which individuals care about opinions. Societies emphasizing conformity, honor, or reputation reinforce hyper-awareness of social perception. Family dynamics, peer pressure, or educational settings can heighten sensitivity to approval from a young age. These environmental factors interact with personality traits, creating strong tendencies toward external validation. Understanding these influences helps contextualize behaviors and highlights that concern about others' opinions is learned and modifiable. Conscious reflection and intentional behavioral practice can gradually reduce dependence on external evaluation, promoting autonomy and authenticity. 8. Strategies to reduce concern. Practical strategies exist for reducing excessive concern about others' opinions. Mindfulness practice helps individuals observe thoughts without judgment, reducing automatic emotional reactions to perceived criticism. Cognitive reframing challenges exaggerated assumptions and replaces them with evidence-based thinking. Gradually exposing oneself to social situations without seeking approval, setting boundaries, and prioritizing personal goals over external validation strengthens resilience. Building self-awareness and internal validation empowers individuals to act authentically while maintaining healthy relationships and social harmony. 9. Turning concern into insight. While excessive concern is often detrimental, it can be leveraged constructively. Awareness of social perception allows individuals to evaluate their behavior, identify growth areas, and enhance empathy. The key is balance, using social insight as a tool for self-improvement rather than letting it dictate self-worth or actions. By shifting perspective, concern about others' opinions becomes a source of reflection and refinement rather than stress and limitation. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.